Welcome back to the sandbox. Got some updates for, well, pretty major upgrade for a very old extension. I built this 4 years ago, user password strength. And originally it was meant to enable the password strength meter that's built into Joomla but is not enabled by default on password fields. And there's some weirdness surrounding the built-in Joomla password strength meter that I'll get into. So the first problem with it is that it's not enabled by default, and in order to enable it, you have to write a plugin to turn it on, or edit the XML, which you lose during the next Joomla upgrade. So I really didn't see the purpose for adding a password strength meter if there was like no way to turn it on and leave it on for the regular Joe, right? So I built this plugin first to enable that, but then I saw the shortcomings of it, which you enable it and you give it this threshold, which is this really ambiguous it's this really ambiguous setting with a default value of 33, and I'm not even sure what the hell it means. So I didn't like it. So beyond just enabling a password strength meter, I also implemented a better password strength meter, which at the time operated using MooTools, but this rewrite brings it entirely into jQuery territory. And I also modernized it to not use its own custom meter, which conflicted with a lot of different things. Now I've got it using Bootstrap and the progress bars Bootstrap comes with. So let's take a look. The default is to not use the built-in meter, but let's go ahead and switch it on. And oh yeah, I guess I grabbed the values here. So yeah, this is how Joomla calculates whether or not you have a strong password. And the funny thing is that it ignores completely the com user password requirements. So there's that. So you could have a strong value, a strong threshold defined here, but that value might not match what your Joomla password requirements are. So the user might be given a passing value, a passing indication on the meter, but still not be able to submit a registration or a password change because they don't meet the Joomla requirements, even though you're showing them a value that says it's passing. Anyway, I don't like the built-in meter, but it's here in case you decide that you're going to use it. Let's go ahead and turn that on and look at registration here. So what it is, the built-in meter is really kind of weird. You see, as you, dang it, oh, I turned that stupid password thing off. I need. You see the stupid little green bar here? That's the built-in password meter. You get down too low and it starts complaining and it goes into the red. But it doesn't it doesn't take into account the Joomla password requirements in ComUser. So let's go back to my plugin here. Let's turn off the built-in meter. You know, I need to get rid of that. That needs to go elsewhere. I'll fix that later. The basic options are you can turn on the text meter, which just adds a word into the meter itself that says poor, weak, medium, or strong. So, and then default tests actually tests the password against the Joomla password requirements. So let's take a look at what that looks like. If we refresh, it starts off as weak, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. You notice that it's never going beyond poor, because I have the requirements set to minimum length 4, minimum integers 2, minimum symbols 1, minimum uppercase 1. So it's doing calculations here based on it's doing regex comparisons to determine if you meet these requirements. So let's add an 11 in there. Okay, now we're up to weak. Let's add an uppercase letter in there, a capital A. Okay, great. Let's add a $sign in there. Bam. Okay, I've now met the Joomla password requirements, and you would assume that this is the, you know, as the admin, you've decided that this is a strong enough password. So this particular test determines if you've met the Joomla system requirements. You don't have to go there, though. You can opt to use non-default tests and define your own regular expressions. And if the user is able to pass these, then you can consider them strong. So basically they add on each other. If you pass only this one, it's considered weak. If you pass this and that, it's considered medium. If you pass this and that and this, it's considered strong. Poor is like a blank password. So you have a lot of options here. And additionally, if you are running a custom component that has a password field, which also is built upon JForm, you can use this custom forms setting here to add in the form name, the XML field name, and the input name. So you could add this meter to your own password fields in your own custom forms, in your own extensions, or even extensions that are not yours. You know, you could, like, say you're running Cunina and you want to add a password meter to the Cunina profile edit form. You could do that. This operates in all of the built-in Joomla user edit forms. So in the back end, it runs in ComUser's user and admin profile. And then in the front end, it runs in ComUser's user and ComUser's registration. So it operates in all the places where you would normally see a password field, and it applies itself to the first password field. There's some logic within the plugin to figure out where it's at and which field to apply to, and that's what this extends upon. It's got its own built-in fields that it's looking for, and then you can add additional forms to it here. And they all feed upon whichever test you have chosen to run. So the default test or these custom tests. Sorry, I'm yawning here. It's 3:20 in the morning. I just finished my testing. So yeah, big fun. Let me go ahead and close this, and this is up on Richie Web for download right now. For free, by the way. Enjoy.